Hello there, friends, and welcome to the Million Dollar Message. This is Tiffany Stout from the Austin, Texas area with your Wednesday wisdom. And I'm so glad that you've called in today. Life around here for us has definitely calmed down just a little bit and kind of, we're settling into the back to school routine, which has been pretty nice, I must admit. And what I wanted to share with you today was something that a message that we heard at church this past Sunday, which for us to get to go to church on Sundays is like, oh my gosh, obviously it's like a priority to us, but it doesn't always happen, unfortunately, because my kids play sports that happen on Sundays a lot throughout the year. So I look forward to it as often as we can go. And this message I absolutely loved. And I thought, you know what, this is something, obviously it's very relevant in a church setting, but it also applies to us in our Mary Kay world. And so I'm going to share it with you, and whether you are a follower of Christ or not, I am not going to be preaching. I am just using this as an example for you today. But this comes from the Bible and from the Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 41. And or kind of like to set the stage here, this is where Jesus kind of is walking up, and John the Baptist is there, and he's like, oh my gosh, this is, Jesus is coming, guys, like, look up, just kind of announcing it. And Andrew is there. Andrew becomes one of Jesus's disciples, and he was standing there when this happened, and he is the brother of Peter, who at the time his name was Simon. So Andrew's there, and he was one of two people standing there when John the Baptist is like, look, the Lamb of God is coming, oh my gosh. And so he heard John say this, and then he followed him. And then in verse 41, he says, he first found his own brother, or in some translations it says, the first thing Andrew did was to find his brother Simon and tell him, we have found the Messiah, because at this time they're all waiting for the Messiah to arrive. And the first thing that he does when he sees Jesus, it's not to like bow down and worship Jesus. The first thing he does is he finds his brother to tell him. He shares. He basically becomes the first disciple that is sharing the news of Jesus as the Messiah, and he's telling his brother, the most important person in his life, to him, so that he can follow him too. He can come with him. And so why I thought this was awesome and significant is because that is something that Mary Kay asked us to do with our business. She asked us to share. She asked us to tell people. She said, if you are grateful for this opportunity, then pass it on. Pass it on. And as followers of Christ, we're asked to do the same thing, to share Jesus with others and to be disciples as well. And so now translating this over into our Mary Kay world, why is this significant? Well, because our job is to invite people. And so I want to talk to you about inviting, because that is the lesson that we can take from this message. Is our role as Mary Kay consultants is to be inviters. We're inviting people to try our products, to give us their opinion, to tell us what they think, to come to an event, to maybe even join our team. And so that's the biggest thing that we can do from our business, is to learn how to be masterful inviters. Our job isn't to decide for other people whether it's for them or not. Not at all. But our job is to invite. The more you are sharing and inviting, the more results that you will have. So I think we can learn a lot from Andrew in this scenario. Who do you want to find and say, you need to know about this business. You need to know about this opportunity. You need to know about these products. You need to know. I need to share this with you. I need you to hear about it. I am inviting you to try it. I'm inviting you to hear something you maybe have never heard before. I am inviting you to listen. I'm inviting you to take a chance. I'm inviting you to try something out. And that's our job right there. That's where it ends. They get to say yes or no. That is not your job to decide for them. If you don't invite, you are automatically saying no for her. You are automatically saying, no, she doesn't want this. No, she's not interested. No, she won't give me her opinion. No, she won't listen. No, she's going to turn me down. You're automatically deciding for her that she doesn't deserve this, that she doesn't deserve the opportunity to think and speak for herself. How selfish can we be, right? Oh my goodness, that's terrible when we put it that way, right? So I wanted to emphasize for you today how significant our role is to just be inviters, because by Andrew inviting Peter, he not only changed his own life because he made his decision to follow Jesus, but he now changed his brother's life as well. He gave his brother the opportunity to say yes to following Jesus. And then in turn, if you've read the Bible and you know Peter, you know what a significant difference that made in his life and for all of us as well who follow him. And so when we allow people to have an invitation, when we allow people to decide if it's something they want to take advantage of or not, you never know how much of an impact and an influence that could make in her life. You never know if that's going to completely change the trajectory of where she was headed and what it will mean for her family and her future and generations to come because you invited her. And we often hear people say that other people's dreams are tied to our own, and I believe that to be true as well. Sometimes we have to take ourselves out of the equation and our own fears and feelings getting hurt if she says no, because she might. People are going to say no, and it's okay. We need to normalize and be okay with the no. We need to normalize that as a healthy response for us to receive and to get comfortable reacting to, in order to get to the people who are going to say yes and who are going to accept a potential life-changing opportunity to try a product that gives them more confidence in their own skin, or to try an opportunity that can allow them to have financial freedom. So it's not for us to decide for them. So I want to give you just a couple of steps because I really want you to learn to be inviters. Okay, learn to be inviters. Don't keep it to yourself. Don't keep Mary Kate tightly locked up as a secret that only you can know about. That's terrible to think that we could do that. Instead, we want to be sharing and inviting, not just sharing like, oh, this is what I have, this is what I do, but then inviting. Take it one step further to, can I tell you more about it? Is there any reason why I couldn't share with you what I love about it? Okay, so I'm going to give you some things for inviting. So number one is to have a good approach with people. So it could be a face-to-face conversation, a phone call. Maybe you have the relationship with somebody where texting is the way to go. But I mean, I personally love talking to people. And actually my aunt just sent me a video about the Gen Alpha and how they're not into texting, but they're into phone calls and FaceTiming because they feel like it's a better way and faster way to communicate what you're trying to express. And so you can hear tone better in a conversation. So think about if you were to be not listening to $1 million message, but like reading a speech of me saying all of this, you can hear my tone and my inflections and what I'm trying to get across. The point and my communication is all different when you're listening and hearing it versus reading about it, right? So I personally like messaging. So choose what approach is going to be best for you. So, and use natural language like, is there any reason why I couldn't share this with you? Or are you free to get together? Just keep the invitation friendly and open. And then next, number two, be specific and clear. So mention like what it is that you want. Be very clear and direct and intentional and not confusing and beating around the bush. I think sometimes we can do that just because our natural fear of like, oh, what if she says no takes over? So we get nervous or anxious. And so instead, just be really specific, be very clear, and give the important details that she would need in order to make a decision. The next thing is to explain the value. Explain really briefly just what you think they might like about what you are inviting them to, whether it's trying the product, whether it's getting together with you, grabbing a cup of coffee to share the opportunity. Explain the value in that because they want to know what's in it for me, right? We always have heard that. And so make sure that you make the invitation something that's relevant to their interest or what they're looking for when you can. And then the fourth step is to extend a warm invitation. So just make it very genuine and use phrases like, I would love to spend time with you, or I'd love to get your opinion, things that make them feel valued, things that make it like, I always love to say this, like, you are so important to me, and I value your opinion so much. If it's a recruiting talk I want to invite her to, I just say, I am looking for women of your caliber every day, and I would love to get your opinion to hear what you think about it, because that matters to me. And so I want her to know that she is valued, she is seen, and she is important, and I value her feedback, opinion, and input because it helps me get better. And then the last step is to encourage them to ask questions and make sure that you follow up. So ask them, like, do you have any questions? Is there anything I can answer for you? To let her know that you are listening. And if she doesn't respond, to just keep following up. Make sure that you do follow up, because sometimes people get busy. I get busy all the time, and I get texts that I go through, like, when I have a free moment, and I'll look back and I'm like, oh dear, it's been like a week, sometimes even longer. And I'm like, I am so sorry, I forgot to reply to you. I got busy in the hecticness of life, and I read it, and in my mind I mentally replied, and then I forgot to type it and hit send. So that happens, and it's not personal, so don't make that personal. So I hope that these tips and this lesson from Andrew will encourage you to find the courage and find the strength to be an inviter, to find the people who are important to you, who are valued to you, and share with them what you love most about your business and how it could maybe make a difference in their life too. Don't decide for them. All right, have an incredible day today. God bless you all. Bye-bye.